Today I'm gonna do a detailed analysis verse by verse of the lyrics of Under the Bridge by Red Hot Chili Peppers. At first I'm gonna comment the lyrics and then I'm gonna bring some additional information and we'll see what else we can think about the lyrics. Let me know in the comments below what should be the next lyrics analyzed. Give this video a like if you want more videos about the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and let's begin with the title. Under the Bridge. We still don't know much, but maybe it's a song about someone who's homeless, who lives under a bridge. We don't know. So let's take a look at the lyrics. Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. If he feels like he doesn't have a partner, maybe he does have a partner, but he's just feeling lonely for some reason. And sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in, the city of angels. Again, he feels like his only friend is the city he lives in. So he probably has friends, but he's feeling lonely. He's not feeling connected with his friends. And the city of angels is Los Angeles. Ángel in Spanish is angel. And the city has a Spanish name, so that's how some people call the city. City of angels. Lonely as I am, together we cry. Here we see something that's very common in literature, poetry, and in lyrics. That's the nature showing what the person is feeling. Because he's saying, together we cry. Together who? He, the lyrical speaker, and the city. He is crying with tears, and the city is crying. But how can a city cry? Probably it's about rain here. So the nature shows what he feels at that moment. His tears show the same. He's sad, he's crying. And together because he feels like his only friend is the city. So they are together crying. He keeps talking about this friendship with the city. I drive on her streets cause she's my companion. So what I said at first when I talked about the title is probably not true. Because it's probably not someone who's homeless because he has a car. He drives on her streets. But let's see if there are more clues about his situation. And she's my companion shows again that the city is his partner, is his friend. And if the city is his companion, he feels like he doesn't have friends, companions, partners, no one. I walk through her hills cause she knows who I am. So what we see here is a personification of the city. The city is being treated as a woman. It has human qualities. It's a partner, a friend, a companion. It can cry. So all the time the city is being personified here. She sees my good deeds and she kisses me windy. So again, the city is personified. She knows who he is and she kisses him. How? Windy. So his interpretation is that natural phenomena show human actions and human emotions. That's why the city cries and the city kisses him windy. So when it's winding, he feels like he's being kissed by the nature and by the city. I never worry, now that is a lie. So here he tries to convince himself that everything is okay, but it becomes obvious that just her company isn't enough. He still feels the need to have friends, to have a companion, a partner, and he has just the city and feels lonely and alone. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. We don't know what happened, we don't know if he was just sad, lonely, or if there was an event on that day. But we'll try to see if there is any indication of what is that day here. Take me to the place I love, take me all the way. We don't know where is the place he loves, but we could guess that it's probably somewhere in the city because he loves the city, and it's some place where he feels secure and comforted. It's hard to believe that there's nobody out there. It's hard to believe that I'm all alone. So he feels really lonely. At least I have her love. At least it's a comfort to him. The city, she loves me. So he tries to convince himself, he tries to comfort himself, but he still feels lonely. Lonely as I am, together we cry. So he's trying to get some comfort, but at the end he is really lonely. He personifies the city, but she isn't enough, because this love is not exactly real. Under the bridge downtown, so now we know that this bridge is downtown. It's where I drew some blood. So apparently he isn't homeless. The bridge is where he drew some blood. So it's not where he lived, for example. Drew is in the past, so maybe it's about that day he talked about earlier. And to draw one's blood means to use a needle to take blood from a vein. Usually it's for medical reasons, but here it's probably not. It's probably something else. Under the bridge downtown, I could not get enough. If he was under a bridge downtown, taking blood from the veins, and he couldn't get enough, he was probably addicted. It was something really good to him that felt good, so he couldn't stop. It's probably not something medical. It's kind of obvious now that he's talking about drugs. More specifically, injected drugs. Heroin, cocaine, meth, we don't know. But it's probably what he was doing that day. If it's true, and he doesn't want to feel like he did that day, it means that he doesn't want to use those drugs anymore. He doesn't want to be under a bridge taking drugs without being able to stop. Then again, under the bridge downtown, forgot about my love. This love here can be many things. Can be self-love. So if he was an addicted, he could forget about himself. It could be someone he loved, a girlfriend, for example. So if he was taking a lot of drugs under the bridge, he could have forgotten her, and it would, in a way, explain why he's personifying the city, transforming the city in a woman, because maybe he forgot he lost a woman that was in his life. But this love can be the city. It's maybe the main character here, and he clearly loves this place. And taking drugs, he could have forgotten what he loved about this place. And under the bridge downtown, I gave my life away. So it's clear here that he was doing something that was terrible for him, for his life, for his health, and he was giving his life away. He was forgetting himself. He was addicted. He couldn't get enough, lost himself, maybe lost friends. That would be why he is alone now. And he maybe almost lost his own life and probably decided to change. That's why he doesn't want to feel like he did that day, because he couldn't control himself and he lost all the love he had, and that's why he just has the love from the city. So this is the analysis without any additional information. Let's see what Anthony Kiedis, who wrote the lyrics, said about it. In an article by Q Magazine, Anthony said, "I wasn't making any connection with my friends or family, and I had no girlfriend. The only thing I could grasp was the city. It was LA, the hills, the buildings, that was looking out for me more than any human being. I started singing this little song to myself. Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner." And when Anthony wrote the lyrics, he was feeling extremely isolated from the other band members. He said that he was trying to keep sober, and one day Flea and John were smoking weed and bonding, forcing Anthony to stay away from them. So even with his friends, other band members, he was feeling lonely because he only could bond with them by using drugs, and he didn't want to use drugs anymore. And even after a breakup, after distancing himself from his friends, he was willing to pay the price. His sobriety was much more important to him. He said, "No matter how sad or lonely I got, things were 1,000,000% better than they were 2 years earlier, when I was using drugs all the time. There was no comparison." So being alone and sober is much better to him than being among a lot of friends but using drugs. But what about that day and the place he loves? He told Rolling Stone about the low point in his life that inspired the song. "I was reaching a demoralizing low, just kind of hanging out on the streets and doing my thing and not much else, sadly to say. I ran into some fairly unscrupulous characters involved with miniature mafioso drug rings. And the hangout for one of these gangs was this particular location under a bridge. I ended up going there with this gang member, and the only way that I was allowed to under this bridge was for him to tell everybody else that I was getting married to his sister. That was one of just hundreds of predicaments that I found myself in. The kind that only drug addiction can bring about. It's not that one place was more insidious than other places, but that's just one day that sticks very vividly in my memory. Like, how could I let myself get to that point?" So now we have the confirmation that under that specific bridge is where he was buying and taking drugs, But what about the place he loves? In the documentary Funky Monks, he said that the place he loves is a place in which he's sober and makes music with his friends. So it's not specifically a physical place, but it's more a state of mind, a state in which he feels happy just spending time and making music with his friends. What about you? What do you think about the lyrics? Is your interpretation different from mine in any way? If so, let me know in the comments below. If you liked this video, give it a like so it can spread for more people who like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Let me know what should be the next lyrics analyzed, and if you want to support my work here, you can subscribe and consider becoming a patron. With just $1 you help me a lot to keep doing more videos like this. That's it, thanks for watching, and ciao!